Good afternoon, February 9th, 2020. Today I want to talk about some comments New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg made in his effort to become president, or what he thinks he's doing to become president. But before I do that, I would like to note that this day in history, I'm always checking, and it stands out, February 9th, 1971, Satchel Paige was nominated for the Baseball Hall of Fame. We all know he got in. And I remember that to see that was something as a kid. And Satchel Paige, what a great ball player, one of the first black players, and a great one at that. And nominated for the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York on this day, February 9th, 1971. Today I want to talk about comments Bloomberg made over the weekend about, basically he called people in the Midwest United States rubes for not accepting transgender bathrooms. So Bloomberg thinks he's going to get votes across the United States by saying that transgender bathrooms are the way, and that people in the Midwest United States, and thank God Ohio's on the edge of the Midwest only. Obviously, Bloomberg thinks, people in New York are smarter or more open or whatever. This isn't anything about openness to me, one way or another. It's about public restrooms, men and women as their designated sex, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't even be an issue. People choose to be hetero, gay, lesbian, bi, whatever. That's okay, fine. But, transgender, I was thinking back when I was in church camp as a kid. I started going to church camp when I was 9 years old, and we tried to make the bathrooms transgender back then. The counselors thought the devil came to stay. Oh, man, do we ever catch hell for that? Nonetheless, oh, yeah, we did it literally. Why not shouldn't the boys be allowed in the girls' bathroom? That's where all the things happen you want to see. Tired of looking through that hole in the concrete, right? Sounds like a bad episode of Porky's. Nonetheless, yeah, Bloomberg, Democrat, running for president. He calls half of America rubes because they won't accept transgender bathrooms. It makes me think that I am open, and it really doesn't even affect me, and most likely wouldn't. But aren't bathrooms scary enough in public anyway that we don't want to let people in there who can't decide their sex or maybe don't know which one it is? And I always tell people, students in particular, that ask, being transgender is like denying your existence on earth under the Godhead. So if you declare yourself transgender, you're saying the way I was born is not the way I am. Which conceptually is okay, but psychologically may not be. I can give you a set of male twins being born in New York, oddly enough, back in the day, and surgeons, it was a birth, where they had to take the baby, and a cesarean, and it's a hard thing anyway. Twins, and they're boys, and one, the surgeon's scalpel slipped and cut the genitals irreparably on the one boy, and surgeons had to make a decision that day and they ended up making one a girl and one a boy. And it turned out in the life, they went back 20 years afterwards, wondering what had happened, 20 some years, and they found out that the child was never comfortable with its sex. It could never pee sitting down. It peed standing up. She did in this case. She was nagging her parents from 7, 8 years old, and severely by the time she was 10, 11, 12, to tell them what had happened, what was wrong, why she felt this way. Turned to drugs and ended up committing suicide at the age of 26. Now, this is just one case, and somebody might go do transgender sex changes or etc. and be okay with it. But for the most part, physically, psychologically, it was a complete failure in this case. And it was a blind study. And there are many of these out there. Believe it or not, it used to happen under severe cases like this. But what I'm here to say is, if you want to be transgender, that's up to you. If you want to use the bathroom, you got to stick with whatever your assigned sex is and try to get in and out of there like everybody else. And more than that, I'd say confusion over Bloomberg's words make me say insular thinking in a small group. He actually believes this is what America wants. This statement will probably ensure he doesn't get elected. Calling middle America rubes because they won't accept transgender bathrooms, in reality is a very telling side of his thinking with respect to common sense, the population, and I think most people want common sense back. And in the population, for the most of us, still believe in men and women. You know, it's only been a male-centered society for 2,000 years with religion, the Christian religion, etc. And up to then, women were known as goddesses for about 300,000 years, give or take, but seriously, for about 50,000 years. So there's something to be said there. Many of us still believe in man and woman, the yin and yang as sex and love. That's cool too. But I'm not really here to say that. I just think that politics now, these guys, they're, you know, the reality is the group still thinks one way. It's the old ways. Yeah, we got rid of blue laws and we've done a lot of other things. But the reality is some of these things are just based on a very small percentage. There haven't been that many sex changes in the history of the world, let alone complete ones. There's only been thousands of them. I think under 10,000 until recently. There's been more because they're propagating the ideas it's cool and kooky and neato or something. And then you can't decide where you're going to the bathroom. Right? Or if you're in process of changing your gender, you can't understand where you got to pee. This goose is cooked, and I'd say on this day in history, Michael Bloomberg, you're probably cooked too. No more president dreams for you. Not on this side of the United States. Let's say not. How would I put it? Not west of Pennsylvania. Y'all take care and stay in New England or out near it. You feel better. Peace out, y'all.